Hey guys, Mick Hayes here. That's Mick like Mick Jagger and Hayes like Isaac Hayes. And today we're going to discuss why I decided on this specific Gibson Les Paul and why I decided to part with my custom shop Explorer. All that coming up right now. I'm a friend of Mark Agnesi's at Gibson, somebody who's been in my corner for a number of years. As a matter of fact, I toured the Gibson garage when it was being built, actually like peak COVID times. We're all wearing masks. I have video footage of it and stuff like that, but it's relatively sad time in history. Anyway, so when I moved here to Nashville area in 23, I knew I was going to be welcomed into the vintage guitar community as well as all the great stores that we have here, and I started spending a lot of time at the Gibson garage. Well, one day Mark invited me to check out the vault, and in the vault at that particular time was Big Ed. Big Ed is one of the 15 known examples of a real Gibson Explorer from the 50s. Big Ed's a very unique story. It was well covered by Vintage Guitar Magazine on how Rick Vito found it. It's something I 100% think you should look up. And if I can find the link to that article, I'll leave it below in the comments. Big Ed has a significant wear mark in the key of G. Apparently Big Ed played in the key of G a lot. That said, after playing it, I looked at Mark and I said, okay, so unicorns are real. This guitar's amazing. Now what? And that's when, I really did some of the learning from the good folks there about how they're taking 3D scans of vintage pieces to make modern pieces to correct spec, which really excited me. So we left there, went over to the custom shop, and there were 3 Explorers in there, all Carina. There was a Carina Natural, there was a Carina in kind of a seafoam green color, and then there was mine, which was in cardinal red over Carina. And as much as I wanted the straight Carina looking one, it didn't speak to me. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. And I loved the sound and feel and playability of the cardinal red one. So we decided that day to take it home. Well, as a matter of fact, I said, hold it for me, and I want to pick it up on Friday the 13th, just to make it spooky, fun, and memorable. So the following week was Friday the 13th, and I picked it up. Got the guitar at home. I'm enjoying it in the morning when I'm having my coffee. I'm playing it a little bit acoustically, playing it a little bit plugged in, but I wasn't taking it out on gigs at all. Fast forward to a gig that I had in April while I was playing in Atlanta. We ended up staying at that really, really high Hilton there in downtown Metro. And I had to carry all the guitars into the hotel room, through the elevators. It was just a fiasco. And on that gig, I used my Firebird for almost the whole show. And I remember thinking to myself that, again, the size of the Firebird case alone, I was just so glad I didn't bring the Explorer and the Firebird, because it would have been that much more cumbersome. Probably would have ended up being like 4 trips. And any touring musician who's dealt with that, you know the drama. That said, we had a couple people over the house a few weeks ago, one of which was my friend Michael Britt from the band Lone Star, who will be eventually featured on here as well. And I remember taking the Explorer out to kind of, show it to him, and I set it on the coffee table. And that's when I realized the Explorer case is literally the size of the coffee table in my listening lounge. Just insane. And I was like, wow. So if I take this out on a gig, wherever it be, In this case, not in a trap case, it will literally be like carrying around a coffee tabletop. That's insane. So that started to wear on me and wear on me and wear on me and wear on me. So the sad part is the used guitar market is literally saturated. It's super awful right now. Everybody knows it. There's a ton of videos where guys are covering that and talking about it. I won't bash anything. I'll just say it's like, stating the obvious. As a matter of fact, things are so bad, I put the guitar, and along with a number of other of my guitars, here on Marketplace in Nashville. Now here's what I'll say. Myself included, I thought when you list something for sale in Nashville, it's going to sell it quick and easy. There's tons of people here who are in the industry. There's studio people. No, that's not true. That's not my experience. As a matter of fact, when I put things on Marketplace, I can assume that someone's going to offer me a trade within 30 minutes of the thing being up, as if I want to trade a Custom Shop Explorer, which costs $10,000 for a Schecter C1. I mean, it is just absolutely ridiculous. I actually had a guy offer me a couch. No joke. Offer me a couch on a trade for a guitar. Let's get back in a cheerful frame of mind here. Sorry. So I took the Explorer on Wednesday to see my friends at Carter Vintage, and I decided I was going to do whatever it takes to turn it into the right Les Paul. And I contacted Nick there at Carter, who's a fantastic salesman and a great musician as well, additionally. And I just told him, I said, I want to go in the big room with all the vintage gear. And I said, and I want to play this one, this one, this one. I showed him like 6 different models from off of their website. 2 of which were Murphy Lab prototypes. There was the Mike Bloomfield edition from like 1999. There's a lot of great Les Pauls there. Now, I just want to preface this. I have the luxury of having friends with beautiful real bursts. As a matter of fact, my friend John Lattis is a dealer, and he was just here a couple weeks ago with the Cathedral burst. Like, I'm really, really lucky. I should say that I'm blessed and all that stuff too, but man, I get the opportunity to play these things, but realistically, these things cost more than my first house. I'm not gonna buy a real burst. And I'm not gonna feel comfortable going out with it and playing it and all the other stuff. If something has survived since 1959 without a neck headstock break, it's not for me to take home. And let me just add to that, I've never broken a headstock on a Les Paul. So if that ever creeps into your mind that that's why you don't want a Les Paul, I've been playing for over 40 years. I've never broken a headstock on a guitar. Guess that's a good point to make. Back to Carter. So Nick pulls out all these guitars. The first one I played was the Mike Bloomfield. So again, that's like a 1999. Great guitar, kind of that's not early Custom Shop, but that's an era of Custom Shop where I've had a 99 Custom Shop Les Paul, and it played great, sounded great, but there was something with the pickups that I just wasn't digging. And it wasn't as broken feeling as I liked. Going down the line, I played a couple others, and then I had a guitar that was kind of mimicking the Skinner Burst, which Bonamassa owns, and I even texted him while I was there and asked him about that guitar specifically. But it was this guitar that I didn't want to like, and this happens so much in my life, and I mean this. Almost every guitar I've kept, and I said this on my Telecaster episode on Tele Tuesday, it's not the color that I want, but the feel, the overall connection for me, the sound of the pickups, everything. Sometimes one literally just latches onto you. It's like going to pick up a dog at like the pound or whatever it may be, and it's like, that's the one that loved me. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it's not the one I had my heart set on, but damn it loved me. Now, this guitar is significantly, this is the ultra heavy aged. I would never, ever pick this out with all this much wear and checking on it. As a matter of fact, the Murphy Lab, I would have probably been okay with the light aged. Not the ultra light, but the light aged. I like the rounded edges. I like the stronger shoulder on a 59 Les Paul. There were some things that I liked, but the thing that this guitar had the most that I loved was unpotted humbuckers. And immediately I thought back to, again, all the vintage bursts that I've played, which would have been unpotted pickups, and the sound, the dynamics, that all the textures of my fingers, all the different sounds, it did that thing. And on top of it, just sonically, the guitar just felt brighter. And there have been so many times that I've picked up a Les Paul and I went, that's too muddy. It's got that humbucker thing. It's not for me. And I've said before that I'm primarily a P90 player. That's always what I've played, a P90 Les Paul for the last couple of, well, God, it's been for years and years and years. But this guitar, these pickups, unpotted. Now, these are custom buckers, but they're unpotted and they're Alnico 3. And again, and then the argument starts, and I've seen stuff on the Les Paul forum that they didn't come in Alnico 3s, and they did, it's like, at some point, I literally don't care. Like I said, this puppy chose me. And I was like, all right, well, I guess whatever it takes to get this guitar, we're gonna get it. And I jokingly said to my friend Luke this morning that if they won't give me the trade deal, if they won't take the Explorer, or if they won't give me a good deal on this guitar, I'm probably going to make some really irrational decisions, which could really affect a number of things in my life right now. Because I'm pruning. I'm in the pruning stage. I'm getting rid of this. I've been selling off my studio. I've just been really kind of getting myself ready for the next phase and stage of my life. So Nick got on the phone with the owner of this guitar, who gave me a deal, and then we negotiated a deal on the trade for the Explorer. And now this 2023 Kindred Burst Murphy Lab Les Paul is mine. I'm excited. This is officially now, after selling a Flying V, after selling 3 SGs and a number of other things, this is my only, and of course now the Explorer, this is my only humbucker guitar. This was a challenge I'm putting myself through. I kept my 2 P90 guitars and I kept this. And this is something that hopefully I won't eat these words somewhere farther down the line, but this guitar, in the matter of just strumming it after dinner that night, it gave me 2 song ideas immediately. And that's always an indicator for me. Other guitar players, other songwriters will tell you, sometimes I've gone to the store and just played something and something jumped off the guitar. I'm like, yeah, this one's a keeper. I'll take it. It happens. As a matter of fact, I'm remembering now that I bought a non-reverse in Ferrari red, which was a Japanese only color. And I bought it from a great guy here in Tennessee, and one song flew off of it, which is called The Worry and the Weight. It hasn't been recorded yet. And then that guitar never spoke to me ever again. And when the opportunity came up to sell that guitar, I did. But that sometimes you just have a one-time connection with something. It's very much like people. You have a one-time connection with something, and then it's over. So I've probably gone on way too long. If you made it to the end of the video, God bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, I'll ask you to please do so. If you'd like any information about myself, I'll leave all my socials down here at the bottom of the screen. And say hello to my little friend, Corny. Say hello to my new Les Paul. Thanks, guys.